It was once a land of impossible beauty and unimaginable blood. A country made of snow-capped peaks and coastal dreams, of poets and partisans, of churches, mosques, and monuments older than time. A place where 6 nations breathed under one name, Yugoslavia. But Yugoslavia was never just a country. It was a promise. A fragile dream that the scars of centuries could be healed. That Serbs and Croats, Bosniaks and Slovenes, Macedonians and Montenegrins, people divided by blood and belief, could somehow live as one. And for a while they did. After the smoldering horror of World War I, the world saw the Balkans as broken. But from its ashes rose something bold. First, the kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes. Then in 1929, Yugoslavia, the land of the South Slavs. But unity was never in their roots. It was stitched with shaky threads, pulling at old wounds. Then came World War II. Nazis invaded. Fascists rose. A genocidal storm engulfed the land. Neighbors butchered neighbors. The soil of Bosnia, Croatia, and Serbia drank blood that would never be forgotten. And when the dust cleared, it was not peace that arrived. It was a man. His name was Josip Broz Tito. Tito wasn't just a leader. He was a force. A partisan warrior turned revolutionary legend. A communist who said no to Stalin and meant it. Under his iron hand and silver tongue, Yugoslavia didn't just survive, it thrived. Tito knew the cracks and he filled them. With fear, with favors, with force. He built a nation that was part East, part West. Communist, but independent. Oppressive, yet freer than the rest. In Belgrade, people danced. In Sarajevo, they sang. In Ljubljana, they studied. On the Adriatic coast, they welcomed the world. It was unity, delicate, artificial, but real enough to believe in. For 35 years, Yugoslavia was held together by one man's shadow. And then, the shadow vanished. Tito died in 1980. The news swept through the land like thunder through a silent valley. People cried in the streets, not just for the man, but for the fear of what would follow. Because without Tito, the ghosts began to whisper again. Republics demanded more power. Ethnic pride turned into ethnic paranoia. The Serbs feared losing control. The Croats remembered their suffering. The Bosniaks, caught between walls, feared for their very existence. And then came a voice that turned whispers into fire. Slobodan Milošević. He rose through the ranks with promises of Serb protection, of national pride. But underneath was something darker. He didn't build a nation. He weaponized memory. Old wounds became speeches. Ancient hatreds became slogans. And suddenly, Yugoslavia didn't feel like a country anymore. In 1991, Slovenia and Croatia declared independence. It should have been a negotiation. Instead, it became war. Slovenia's fight was short, 10 days. But Croatia's war was hell. Towns shelled. Civilians slaughtered. The city of Vukovar leveled to dust. And then came Bosnia. Bosnia was the soul of Yugoslavia, mixed, multi-ethnic, and fragile. And so, Bosnia. That became the battlefield of all. Sarajevo, a city of culture, of coffee and cobblestones, surrounded by hills that turned into sniper nests. For 1,425 days, Sarajevo was under siege. Children were killed playing football. Women died fetching water, and the world watched in horror. Then came the darkest chapter, Srebrenica, a supposed UN safe zone. 8,372 men and boys rounded up and executed. Mass graves filled. Mothers left to scream at the earth. It wasn't a war. It was a slaughter. It wasn't stopped until it was far, far too late. The West intervened. NATO bombed Serbian positions. The Dayton Accords were signed. Peace, or something like it, returned. But Yugoslavia was already a ghost. From one name came 7: Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Kosovo, each carrying its own scars, each still haunted by what could have been, and what actually was. Some say Yugoslavia was doomed from the start, that it was a lie built on illusions. Others say it was murdered, slowly, violently, by power-hungry men who tore open the past for their own gain. But maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. Maybe Yugoslavia was a warning that when identity becomes a weapon, no one is safe. That when fear is louder than hope, nations crumble. And that peace, the most precious thing of all, must be guarded every single day. Yugoslavia no longer exists. Its name has faded from maps. Its anthem has fallen silent. But in the streets of Sarajevo, the mountains of Montenegro, the markets of Skopje, you can still hear echoes. Echoes of a country that dared to unite the divided. Echoes of a dream that lived and died among us. And perhaps, just perhaps, that dream still lives in the hearts of those who refuse to forget.